notified anyone nor its racket. I'm still addressing the property pin issue and infringement in my property.
Okay. Was it the surveyor went out there a little while ago?
No. No.
Okay, the report that I got from the highway superintendent was that the surveyor, his name is Mr. Starks? Strack went there and talked to you guys and said that you were in negotiation, you told him you were in negotiation with the town and that he shouldn't do anything about it.
He called us. He called us.
He called, okay, he called you, so you did speak to him?
I spoke to him, yes.
Okay, all right, and what did you tell him?
Yeah, I told him
We were waiting, because Mr. Nicola told us, and I asked twice before we left that night, if someone was gonna if you guys were gonna contact us, so we could discuss this. And you said, yes, you were gonna get back to us, and nobody from this board has got back to us.
But Strack got back to you on our behalf.
That's not what he said. I mean, he was calling to see if we were gonna be home, that kind of thing. But he also said he did have a look at it, and because the pin can't go back into property, because there's no property there to put it back into.
It's in the bottom of a ditch now, right? Our property was.
You can drive a stake in the bottom of the ditch, quite frankly.
He said he is not gonna do that. That's exactly
How
what
long
he told us, and he told us he was gonna tell you that. He said he will not do that.
But the thing is, the land on the property is ours, right? That's our property.
Sure.
You went beyond your property, and went into our property, right?
I don't know.
See, you don't know.
But that's what he was gonna measure.
That's the problem.
That's what he was gonna measure, and you told him he didn't need to measure it.
No,
Who?
he never said that.
That's what he told us.
I called him this week, and I asked him why he hadn't been back to reposition the stake. He said he had contacted you, and he was told not to go there because you were in negotiations with the town over the size of the ditch in your front lawn.
Right.
He never said that he couldn't put the stake in the ditch or anything.
No, he said he would not put a stake in the bottom of the ditch because it won't stay there. It's a property
That is
marker.
what he told us.
It's not gonna stay in the bottom of the ditch. You know, it's not gonna stay there. But we, you know,
If he drove a stake in the ground, it wouldn't stay there?
What, the original one he put there was land there, and then Mr. D'Agostino has dug 6 feet into our property.
right.
So how are we gonna put that 6 feet
Yeah,
back to put the pin back?
That's the property we pay taxes on and I pay a mortgage on, right? That part of it, that's mine,
If-
right?
if-
I make the
if-
decisions
if
on
we-
that.
If we've gone
Right?
beyond the property, beyond our right of way.
Right.
Absolutely.
If we've gone beyond
Yes,
the
you
right,
have.
which is what the guy was gonna measure.
Mr. Strack already told us that. 'Cause
Right.
he told us where our pin was, it's on our abstract.
Okay,
Anything past the pin, excuse me, anything past our pin,
No, excuse me, we
is
need to hear that
ours.
from him, quite frankly.
Okay,
That's why
then
we were
you
gonna
need to
hire him.
contact
That's why
him.
we were paying him to go out to do it, and you tell him not to do it.
Well, because I wanted, you know, I don't wanna have him to do it twice, because I like my property.
You're okay with him going out now, though?
to have a look and see if he can, but he's already told us
No,
on the phone.
I don't want him to have a look, quite frankly, I want him to measure the thing
Sure.
and mark it.
Sure.
And if he can't do that, then we'll find another surveyor.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
How are you, okay, our pin was, and it's in our abstract, we've looked at these numbers a million times, we've talked to people in Canton. Where the pin was is exactly 25 feet, say, from the center of the road. Anything past that, and Strack told us that he was gonna tell you this, and he was having a conversation with Frank over
I
this.
called him, he never had a conversation with me. I
Okay,
talked to him.
well, obviously, we have a lot of miscommunication here. But he told us that he was gonna tell you that he can't even he will not drive a pin back into that,
Okay.
because there's nothing to drive it into, and that's our property,
Okay, he hasn't told us that.
okay?
If I need to talk to him directly, I will. And I'm gonna ask him that question.
Sure,
If he can't survey it, then we'll find someone else who can.
okay,
So it needs to be surveyed.
Here's-
We're not gonna go by a tape measure that we hold or you hold or whatever. We need someone who's a professional at this.
Absolutely.
At coming up with proper distances
Okay.
and property lines to identify where that stake should be, and we'll have it put in the proper place. And then we'll figure out if we're beyond the right of
Okay.
way.
sure.
If we're beyond the right of way, I don't know where we go from there. Maybe that's when we have some discussion. I don't know. I think the bottom line is we had to do what we did to the ditch. You may not believe that.
I don't.
And you never will.
Absolutely.
Right, so we did.
No, but
what
you
we
have
had
the right,
to-
you have the right to go back beyond my stake into my property?
No.
I mean, you have the right to claim eminent domain.
I'm gonna find
take
that out. I'm gonna find that out.
That's gonna
Lee.
cost you.
I don't know the answer to that, Lee. I'm gonna find that out.
Mr.
Okay?
Strack already told us that
So,
too.
well,
So-
and again, that's good. He's apparently telling you guys one thing.
Change
and
the
us
road
something
maps,
different,
change our
so-
deed, survey it, appraise it, and pay us.
So what you're asking is you want that 6 feet back?
Yes,
Correct.
there we
We
go.
do.
Even if the ditch is unmaintainable?
Absolutely.
Right, it's,
That's
you know.
what you want,
Yep.
even if it becomes an unsafe situation for all the rest of the public?
Oh, no, we're not going back to the road, we're going towards our property. That's not gonna be unsafe for anybody.
I'm just, let me understand, because
Right,
there's a lot of
right.
consternation around here. So you want the 6 feet back, you want your pin in,
Right?
And if you can't maintain that ditch, that's no, never
I
mind.
can't maintain it now, have you seen
They're
it?
not maintaining it, everybody else.
Nobody
they're
else
not
is on that road
Okay.
either.
Well,
4
There's
days
a
we
lot.
took fill out of that ditch. 4 days, dump truck after dump truck load, getting out of my yard. That's a lot of fill.
We're gonna
4
find,
days.
we're gonna find a place for the proper placement of the stake, we'll put it back. If we need to restore land, we'll restore land. We're gonna keep the ditch.
That's fine, you do what you have to do, we're gonna do what we have to
The ditch is
do.
gonna be kept at the depth that it needs to be in order to drain that whole ditch and run it to the road.
Is there plans that we can publicly see that the engineer did for this dig?
No, there is no plan.
There is no
There's no
plan.
plan?
We don't hire an engineer to dig ditches, quite frankly.
Okay.
The maintenance
Let's,
crew, the maintenance
let's
crew
get
went
the
out.
surveyor there, get that situation.
What is the
taken
grade of
care
that
and we'll
ditch?
go from
Could you tell me? It's inch every 20 feet or a half an inch every 20 feet?
I'd have to look at the records.
Where can I find those records? Nobody wants to tell us any of this stuff, and it's because there's a mistake, and we just wanna correct this.
Who told you there was a mistake?
Frank, why, do you have one of these in your yard? Would you want one? Would you be happy about this? Again, you've never came to our door.
Mrs.
Look,
Jones,
I'm not gonna
Mr.
get into this
excuse me,
again.
Joe, hang on.
Me either.
Hang on a
This is
second.
just a
Mrs.
push
Jones,
around. We
Mrs.
came back, we came here again to get on the docket. We're not on the docket, which fine, okay, mistakes
I
happen.
make the decisions who goes on the agenda. You never contacted
Are
me.
you, I'm a
okay?
taxpayer.
Oh,
I help this board.
I misunderstood.
There you
That's
go.
fine, that's
So
fine.
again, it's just things, we're getting the push around. You wouldn't be happy either.
Mrs. Jones, excuse me.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Superintendent, or supervisor, whatever the hell your title is.
Supervisor.
We told you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the surveyor there, we're gonna take care of that pin, okay? And then when we know where that is, if you want the 6 feet back, this board's gonna make that decision on whether that 6 feet's coming back. That's where we're at.
Yep.
And all this other discussion is not helping anything.
You realize we pay taxes on that, correct?
I understand you pay taxes.
You
I
realize
pay
that's the
taxes on
most
that property.
important piece of your property is your roadway.
Road
frontage.
frontage.
That's fine, and we just told you what we're gonna do, and it's gonna happen.
Okay.
And
So Mr. Stark.
the surveyor will come down and
Strack.
do whatever he's gotta do.
And who's gonna get back to us? Can we be
I
clear on
will.
this time?
I will
Thank
get
you.
back to you.
Thank you.
I will get back.
You can leave a message. We have an answering machine. I can give you my cell phone number.
Frank, can we get Strack on the phone tomorrow?
He's local,
Harris.
No.
Harris.
Harrisville.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you for your time, and I hope
Thank
you don't
you.
laugh when we leave today, because that was pretty unprofessional of everybody here.
I do want to say, I saw that tape as well. I thought it was unfortunate the way it was handled by the media. Somebody obviously wanted to make, point, and try to make fun of people on YouTube. I don't understand the purpose of that. John or whoever else was responsible
Wasn't
for
me.
it, quite frankly,
It-
you say you weren't. But
It wasn't him
okay,
responsible. You
okay.
folks all did it.
But no, but here,
It's up to you.
here's,
You
here's,
went
what- here's what I'm gonna say something else if you let me finish.
Absolutely.
I think there was some attempts at humor made. Not
They
at
weren't
your-
funny
not
on
at
my
your
part.
Not at your expense, but.
The town didn't
and
appreciate it
was-
either.
It was a very tense situation. There was an attempt made at humor by a couple different people. Obviously, some people didn't find it funny.
No,
So if.
somebody
if-
threatened me. How
so-
can you find that
so,
funny?
well, again, I think, again, it was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah,
it was
I
suppo-
believe it was this lady right here
it
said she
was-
thought she could take me.
It was supposed to be a joke, again.
It wasn't funny.
Well, okay, that's fine. What happened happened. Had it not been on YouTube by our friends with a camera, nobody knew anything about it. It would've gone by, this is what it was
I
supposed to be.
would've known about it. I mean, I have
Well,
friends, not that a lot of people
Okay,
come here,
okay,
but
well, all right.
I don't think I
but-
deserve that.
Okay,
No, you
you're
don't.
right.
Thank you very
No.
much, John. I appreciate it. I think you know me from school. You know me as a teacher.
Absolutely.
I've never been in trouble. I'm good to the community.
Sometimes public
Okay,
meetings get
thank-
tense.
thank-
Sure.
and-
Right. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks very much for coming
Thanks.
tonight. We
We'll
appreciate it.
expect your
I'll
phone
get
call.
back to you about the
All
day.
right.
Thanks.
Any other public comment?
Wasn't me.
No, you didn't have a problem.
We're on the agenda, actually, so,
No, that's not.
okay. All right, we're done with public comment. Resolution